Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your girl, Miss Landry, and I'm coming to you straight out of NYC on this nice and calm Tuesday evening. Yes. So I'm just so happy today because I'm officially in the partner program. So I'm excited about that. So let's get into this news with the Todd Chrisley bank fraud tax evasion scandal. For all of y'all who might be big on reality TV, you are familiar with the Chrisleys, okay? They have the show on USA. They're from Atlanta. I believe it's from Atlanta. They're multimillionaires, and many people were cracking jokes on Todd Chrisley. And it's because people really was like, they thought he was, how you doing? So, according to Yahoo, it reads, federal jury convicts Todd and Julie Chrisley of bank fraud and tax evasion. A verdict was reached in the trial of Todd and Julie Chrisley. The jury began deliberations June 3rd. The couple was convicted of defrauding banks and evading the IRS. Todd and Julie Chrisley were found guilty on all charges relating to running a years-long conspiracy to defraud banks and hiding their money from the IRS. The Atlanta federal jury convicted Todd Chrisley of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and tax fraud. Julie Chrisley was convicted of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, tax fraud, and wire fraud. Oh, so she got more than him. Wow. Their former attorney, Peter Tarantino, was convicted of conspiracy to defraud the United States and willfully filing false tax returns. The Chrisleys face up to 30 years in prison. The celebrity couple, who found fame in 2013 when USA Network picked up their reality show, Chrisley Knows Best, were accused by federal prosecutors of manipulating financial records, making it appear that they were wealthier than they were, to apply for more than $30 million in loans, which they spend on a luxury lifestyle they couldn't afford. When the banks caught on to them, the Chrisleys filed for bankruptcy, walking away from $20 million in debt. The couple went on to hide money from the IRS with the help of Tarantino, prosecutors argued. Jurors began hearing testimony in the case on May 17th, with the trial spanning nearly 3 weeks. They began deliberating on June 3rd. The Chrisleys' main defense was that the man who turned them into the FBI was also a fraudster. Mark Braddock, who was part owner of Todd Chrisley's real estate foreclosure business, Chrisley Assets Management, admitted that he had created fake documents to send to banks to get loans on behalf of himself and the Chrisleys. He also admitted to impersonating Todd Chrisley on multiple occasions. Todd Chrisley's attorneys, Bruce Morris, tried to convince jurors that emails from his client's account in which fraud is apparent could have been sent by Braddock, who was given immunity by the government. The emails themselves were produced to the government by Braddock, and Morris argued they could also have been fake. Braddock testified that he had a year-long affair with Todd Chrisley and committed fraud on his behalf because of lingering feelings he held for him. Bruce Morris said in court that Chrisley denied the affair and Braddock was obsessed with Chrisley. Attorneys for the Chrisleys and Tarantino didn't immediately return requests for comment. Read the original article on The Insider. So, this is really interesting. I actually have found out last week that he was on trial for tax evasion, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and so forth. But I didn't know it was all that. The Chrisley show, I used to actually watch it. And I'm going to say something, like the first 2 seasons, I actually liked it. I know it's, it was very, I don't want to say white, but it was very, it gave you that it reminded you sort of like the 1960s sitcom-ish kind of show. And he was really sassy. And I was like, this man has to be bisexual, because the way he was sassing his wife and the kids, it was just really comical to me. But after reading the story of the oldest son, who was no longer on the show due to his drug abuse, and he has a daughter by a black woman, and she's really dark, and she's from the hood, and they actually accepted their daughter, which is named Chloe, who was their granddaughter, the Chrisley's granddaughter. I sort of was like, this is giving me plantation vibes, so I don't know. When I saw her with the do-rag, I said, I don't know if I can get into this again. So I never did watch it. Now, let's get into the fraud. A lot of these reality TV stars commit fraud. Teresa Giudice and her husband, they were convicted of fraud. Joe was in Italy because he wasn't a citizen, something horrible like that. So he got deported. He can't come back to the U.S. It's never worth it, believe it or not. But the thing is that these people go on the shows to make money, to legitimize their money, because they want to keep up with an actual fraudulent fake lifestyle, which is being wealthy. These people probably had maybe in assets, maybe $7 million. And that's including a house and cash and jewelry. You know, but when you are living in a fantasy and you want to live out that fantasy, this is what happens. This is what happens. Now, as far as the affair, I'm 50-50 on it. Okay? They could have had an affair, or they could not have had an affair. It's either or. But what I do believe is that the man Braddock did a lot of this stuff because he was pretty much infatuated with Todd Chrisley, mainly his money. I would say that. But, you know, I don't think they're going to do 30 years. They're probably going to do up to 3 years, but they're not going to do 30 years. Trust me, they're not. It's a white collar crime. They're not going to go that long. It's not going to happen for them. But that's it for the story. I'm signing off. It's your girl, Miss Analytical. Thank you for listening to this commentary. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Share, comment, like, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.